Okay, that's enough of that. Hey, welcome to Burning Crusade Classic. I am the Expert Layman, and today, farming meta strategies. Basically strategies to make your farming more efficient in ways you might not have considered. God, there's so many people flying around. Like they're just competing for mining nodes, and because they're all following the same pattern. And then there'll be a bunch of them flying a different pattern, competing for... Yep, there's another one. Yeah, getting like freaking several of those a minute. Just competing over the nodes. And that is one thing that keeps people... That is one aspect of farming, is if you're competing with other people, it makes it more... It may not be as efficient. In fact, it's typically less efficient. But competition will motivate you. And there goes another one. This is my spot with my warrior, and when you're farming, you think, well, I need this thing, so I'm going to go get this thing. But if you're basically just trying to make money, let me make sure I am audible, and I am. Make sure that it's good for your class and spec and even race. Like, you know, if you're undead, you know, cannibalized is very useful because it'll restore your health faster than eating, and it's free. So if you're fighting undead or humanoids, there can be quite an advantage to what you're fighting. Also, you know, what's vulnerable. Like we're going in, like, farming the same spot I would with my holy priest. Wouldn't work so well. Also, the holy priest just hits like a freaking truck and never runs out of mana, so there aren't too many places that aren't good for him. But, you know, just casting smite over and over again gets a little tedious. But for some reason, just doing this little circuit... Oh, and the circuit I do here, which times out the respawn, is... I will come up and hit these along the edge. There'll be 3 more over here. There'll be 3 over here. They're kind of packed together close over here, and there's a path that goes through. There's another one. And they'll be clumped up over here by the what would you call it? The mana pipe. But there's a couple more over here you can hit. Then up here on the ridge, which you can't see because it's on the other side of the pipe. You can hit them along this ridge, and then there's a couple more you hit over here, because the geologists are great for killing. They will throw a rock at range, but it doesn't really hit that hard, and if you don't pull them at range, you don't have to deal with it a whole lot. But they don't cast, and they don't hit terribly hard, and they have high drop rates for... Arcane Tomes and Sun Fury Signets. I was just up here. Jesus Christ, there's so many. And the other thing that comes, if you can just kill a lot of stuff, you'll get blue drops. Like in the last hour, and this is unusual, I'm not saying this is standard, I got a Crystal Blade of the Draenei, which is that, like, paladin tanking sword with stamina, defense, and armor. And Girdle of Gale Force, agility, intellect, mana per 5, and attack power. It is basically hunter, enhancement shaman. But if you can just increase just be killing lots and lots of stuff, you'll see blues and even occasionally epics. But I kind of... Jesus Christ. Gotta wonder if they're, like, automated, you know? Because just how they follow almost exactly the same path. Because that would be a violation. Something flying for you, like running a pattern, that I would call that cheating. Let me refresh my sharpening and weight stones. Oh, and in the path that I do here, there's a couple of mining nodes, which is actually even more useful when there's lots of people farming, because they will respawn more more quickly because they're getting picked up in other parts of the zone. Whereas if it's a dead time of night, the same node will refresh less often. Just because, you know, in aggregate across the whole zone, they're getting hit more often, so tend to see a lot of that. At least enough to cover my adamantite sharpening stone and adamantite weight stone. But for some reason, this works for me, and it doesn't seem to get all that tedious. But also, I'm playing around with warrior stuff. I'm still trying to figure out whether it's better. If you're just hitting the geologist, you don't need a spell interrupt, so I'll often just stay in arms. And the biggest thing about farming, if you're just trying to make money, is find something that you can do a lot. And I have a slight advantage here, in that I'm a bit autistic, and what do you call it? I wouldn't say neurotic in the classic sense, but I enjoy. A lot of people get stuck into like just doing the same thing over again with nothing new. But for, I suppose, more autistic type people, it's about refining how you're doing it. You get fulfillment out of just increasingly getting more and more efficient at the process, and that might be a little more unique to me than most neuroatypicals, but and it can be your backup thing. If you can find something where you can just like farm for a long period of time without getting bored, that's a good place to be. Even if it's not the most efficient place, being able to keep going is super helpful. So right now I'm looking for a Black Morass group. Just because I finally got my gear to where I wanted it to be before I went into Karzan, and as a sort of tradition, I don't get my key, even though I know you don't need the key anymore. Once I feel like I'm geared enough to fill whatever role I'm doing in Karzan, I get to play around with little things like my Victory Rush. You know, it does a set amount of damage, and there's really no way to buff it. But if you can get 5 stacks of Sunder, and it's just like so much rage. Like I'm spamming Devastate. I guess I can do him. Come on. Yeah, I avoid those things because the captain just puts a brutal debuff on you. Wow, okay. And they're really clumped together. And you come over and hit these guys. Basically a pattern where you can just keep making a circle, and by the time you get back to the beginning, everything is respawn. And Victory Rush is so powerful. Oh, I forgot to eat. Well. And again, you know, if I hit Last Stand before I cannibalize, I get more out of the cannibalize. I mean, I suppose I could swap my gear out and go up to like 12,000 health, and then hit Last Stand and go up to like 14 or 15, and then cannibalize, but this is fairly simple. I just have so much. Yeah, what I've been doing is just debuffing them for damage when I fight too, because I don't have any of my protection gear anymore. I've gotten full DPS set now. I still had a few pieces, and then I moved points out of. Basically, in arms, I could probably just keep executing, and it's not a problem. It's just like it's almost hard to find enough ways to dump my rage. And if I do this right, I almost never have to eat. And at least for this build now, it's not worth fighting 2 unless you Have to. Oh, he killed the stuff up here. He screwed up my pattern. And there's guys over here. Yeah, the secret's out about the awesomeness of this place. And over there under the pipe is the danger zone. You don't want to go over down here. Because these guys up here have a freakishly large aggro radius. Yeah, they will, the rock is different. You can, like, run out of its range real easy, drag them out, and then charge in. Just keeping my freaking battle shout up seems to be the thing I have the most trouble with. And for the most part, if you're not fighting casters, use your, use your stun on cooldown. And this chick, we'll walk over. Warp Masters aren't so bad when you fight them by yourself. Kind of wishing I hadn't used my concussion blow already. Well, we'll just... she's close enough to dead, it's not worth interrupting. Yeah, there were a bunch of mobs that were dead, so I'm probably going to get back to the beginning before everything is respawned, so I will pull him back, even though I don't have a charge or intercept up quite yet. If I see a blood or a, oh, damn it! If I see a black morass, I may just go ahead and do that on the stream. I got my Arcatraz, which I got the DPS for, which is kind of fun. But then, thanks to Shadow Labyrinth, none of the DPS were 70, and I had 0 deaths. And the healer wasn't all that well geared. Hopefully I'll only pull him. I forget, if you use the charge stun, it makes your concussion blow not stun for as long. Typically I'll just fly over at this point. Back to the beginning, but I suspect they won't be quite up yet. One of them's back. Why did he come back so early? Well, actually, I think he's the first one, so the rest of them should be falling in behind here shortly. I'll just kill him and then, like, eat. I know, it's like, Heroic Strike drains so much rage, but it's like, it's not a problem. They should be respawning. I might be over here jacking up my, my pattern. Well, there's one. There's one in front of me. Should be spawning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Damn it. There's, of course, a random element to it. Oh, there we go. That was actually the first guy. Now, there's a few, like, I don't know, like a 15-second randomizer that respawns. But finding stuff that's fun, like, I'm able to, like, AoE farming with the mage is actually kind of difficult, which, and it's kind of cool just killing all that much stuff at the same time. And you're kind of getting a better feel for how your abilities work. Like I said, I decided now that when I pull 2, I'll go ahead and, do the debuffs, so I take a bit more damage now, and I have a bit less health now that I'm not wearing, like, partial tank gear. And less time you spend, like, I try not to have to spend time eating, because that does take a while. Where did you go? I'm gonna end up pulling that other one. Screw it. not like they hit me that hard, but it's not worth the risking having to eat. But my cannibalize is back up, so... And it should be just enough to top me off. Or close to it, anyway. And having a place that you just kind of like... A lot of the time, at least for me, and from what I can tell other people, you know, they waste a lot of time in the game just like figuring out what they want to do, or just sitting in chat. Like, I didn't actually think I was going to pull him. And just to avoid taking any more damage than I need to, I'll just go ahead and finish him off with the execute, because I get my rage back so quickly. It does seem to generate more rage in battle stance, but I'm sure that's due to some quirk I'm not quite understanding. Actually, I rarely hit my blood rage while I'm in Berserker because I forget. I'm sure if I was hitting that, it would probably, you know, even out. Like, having rage to dump is kind of cool. I got, like... I haven't been playing my casters, so... I guess he's still active up here. I think I have about 20 super mana potions. Just sitting on the characters. Like, there's still a lot of things I could be doing to make this more efficient, and having a little, like, OCD about efficiency. You know, why not let it work for you? Oh, and I did the Shadow Labyrinth where none of the DPS were 70. Nobody died. Did my Steam Vaults with... they were 70, but like they weren't like the most potent group in the world. There's always that one sitting underneath, and he can make the ones on top reset, which sucks. Oh, he can hit me, but I can't hit him. That's fair. Luckily, I can do this while I'm in combat, and he will probably reset by the time I'm done. And if he doesn't, well, I just got to keep all my rage. Oh, there he goes. There's a spawn point here, and over where I started up on that hill, you know, up here, there's another spawn point. Adamantite. And just having a damage ability you can spam helps a lot. I got 2 Shattered Hulls off as DPS, of course. I'm not sure why the Druid. It's kind of funny. Like, I was trying to figure out who the tank is. It can't be this Druid with 7,500 health. And it was. I mean, yeah, they do get a buttload more health when they shift, but like... Still, less than 10,000 health on a tank is not great for 70 dungeons. I mean, obviously, it can be done, but it makes things a lot harder. Plus, you need a lot of mitigation for Shattered Halls. Not that they hit so hard, but often there's just so many of them hitting you. And the equation of just holding against heal aggro can be rough. I hate it when my victory rush runs out at just the wrong time. I'm not going to wait for him to cast. I'm going to go ahead and stun him now. Is that if I can get a few Sunders on him, and then hit the victory rush, you get some pretty awesome crits out of it. Same thing with Execute. Execute's just a set amount of damage, but if you got a stack of Sunders on him, tends to work out better. You know what? I am going to chow. I want to wait for that pat to go by anyway. So find something that works for you. Find something that lets that you can stand. You know. But God, I love those freaking crits with that epic gun. And then did the Steam Vaults run? Tanked it. And they reshuffle around to where they're either in aggro range and they're not in aggro range, so you can think you got it, and then whoop, pull another one. Like, you know, kind of like that. And some things like tabbing between targets, you know, if you just spend so much time doing it while you're farming, when you're actually in dungeons and stuff, you can be a lot better at it. And through those guys. Looks like my thing's back up over here. Yeah, this is the actual top guy. And back at the beginning again. Obviously, I don't use my blood rage because that costs health, and I'm trying to keep that so I don't have to eat. And while I'm doing this, I just look for whatever dungeons I'm looking for whatever characters. So like if you're a caster, you know, you want to fight stuff that doesn't have, you know, a ranged attack, and you don't care about how much armor something has, so especially if you're AoE hurting, you know, it's like you just want beast, you know, things that will just like walk towards you and try to beat the crap out of you rather than things that do ranged or have spells or can heal. But let's say if you're like a rogue, oh god, I don't know if there's a way to make farming fun on a rogue. Obviously, you know, caster types are a lot better because you can interrupt them and, you know, you get the jump on them and they don't have a whole lot of armor. You just find a place where, even if it's not, like, the most lucrative, if it's something you can keep going at, like, that has its own value. You know, if you're a little OCD about efficiency, you can actually use it to get better at your class, too. And just more comfortable doing stuff, like teaching yourself, like, hotkeys. Like, I'm still trying to remember... Like, I have hotkeyed, like, changing my stances, but I'm, like, terrible at remembering to actually do it. We'll pull him back just a little bit, because that other guy will, like, they will reposition themselves, sometimes even just a little bit, and then they'll aggro on you, and I want to definitely kill this guy before, so I can eat. A lot of times it's not that I'm taking too much damage, it's that I didn't cannibalize when I should have. See, he just moved over. If I hadn't pulled back, he'd be coming for me right now. If I go for him, I'm gonna get his friend, but that's okay. Pull that Warp Master while she's in a good spot. Fort Masters have a oh my god. Slightly better drop rate on the rep items. Obviously, yes, there's a nether bloom spot there. There's such jerks about where they put stuff. Now, the more things you can transfer to procedural memory instead of having to consciously think about it, the more of your awareness you can devote to other things, which just kind of makes you better at everything. When you're under less pressure, you tend to make better choices. I mostly just wanted to come out of farm and need to do a stream, but this is a pretty lucrative spot. I didn't clear my bags out and stuff, but you can kind of see I'm sure I've gotten... I'm going to go ahead and use the last stand and cannibalize. I haven't gotten any tomes. Well, I really haven't gotten crap this time around. I haven't even gotten any greens. It's just like cloth. Weird. And it's kind of nice having buffs or things that will kind of serve as a timer for how long you've been at it. Well, like I said, you know, God, the other day I ended up with got like 9 arcane tomes in like an hour, and that's nuts. And earlier I had like 2 blues in like a half an hour, and you know, that's extremely unusual. Oh, and the Shattered Halls run was kind of fun because that... Okay. The druid was just having so much trouble, and there were a few wipes. I was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do it. It's like tanking that is hard if you're not a pally, like really hard. And I said, hey, I was like, we might need a CC, and to be honest, having 1 CC would not have really made that much difference. I said, hey, or a second tank, and I said, I'll just, okay, like kind of like not sure. I'm like, no worry, I got the gear, but I'm actually protection. So I'm like, I'll just, and these were big poles, or like 8 and stuff, you know. So I said, I'll just pick up everything but X and Skull. I'm like, got another, okay, and then I did, and we stopped wiping. And I would just, you know, throw on my tank gear whenever there were going to be big pulls. Remember to eat. No Black Morass runs. I think people are looking for runs, but in a list of like 20 other things. Let me make sure. Okay. Ever since I did a stream where I was like on the wrong screen for a half hour, I'm a little bit paranoid about it. He's mostly dead. I'm not going to worry about the debuffs. Yeah, I've never been a fan of Heroic Strike. It's actually kind of fun that it's useful. Yeah, there's an arcane tome. Why are they right next to each other? Oh, he never threw his rock. Weird. I'll build up a little rage so I can do that shoot pull thing. That was probably not the best time to use that trinket. God damn it. Oh, it looks like those guys are starting to respawn. Rage of the Unraveler. That's pretty cool. That's that, Hourglass of the Unraveler from Black Morass. Pretty cool trinket. You know what? You're all by yourself. Oh, well. I get 5 Sunders and then the Victory Rush. I still want to see crit on that. I mean, I have, but I wanted to say that it's been as high as 1400, but it's only hitting 630. There we go, there's a green. And these guys should be respawned. Yeah, there we go. And then you start all over. Try to build up a little rage before I cannibalize. I still have it when I come out. Now there's some farming that is just terrible. Like trying to farm primal mana on a caster is just brutal. I am going to remember my battle shout. Yeah, I'm actually... I'm sort of saving up for the Blink Strike. You need goals. On the server, you can get it for between 1,500... Oh, I've seen it as low as 1,200. And, well, I've seen it pretty high, too. But that would be so nice to have as the main hand weapon while tanking. Haven't been able to find statistics on proc rate and stuff. It's weird how people will spam that they're DPS looking for something. I'm not saying that it's useless. And it's probably because I don't like building groups. Same reason was like I don't like being in charge, but in every non-union job I've had, I've end up in a position. It's almost like not wanting it makes them want to give it to you. I'm gonna pull him back so I can get my cannibalize. See what I mean? He just like walked right up. Well, my cannibalize isn't quite up yet. Oh, I'll do one more. I would have preferred to use my last stand on this one to get a little bit more healing out of it, but this works too. Let's see if I can get my battle shout off before my cannibalize completes. Yay! I got 2 of them. Yeah, I really should have opened with my Victory Rush. Victory Rush is so overpowered. I think that's how I do, part of how I do so well playing prot DPS is if you can do your execute, you can get your execute timing down. It really depends on if you have, well, for the most part, if there's anybody else trying to execute. You can get your timing down on that pretty well so that you get the Victory Rush proc. Like you... dangerous. Pulling those guys in the middle can be a pain. Not use my victory rush. I basically just wanted to come up here and farm and show kind of like the kill pattern. And this should work for a lot of classes. These guys, other than throwing that rock, they really don't do anything special, and they have drop rates almost equivalent to like an elite mob. Tons of claw, surprising amount of greens, lots of rep items. And last stand is up. Yeah, I've sustained myself just on cannibalize. Please let me finish eating. Please let me finish eating. Use my victory rush. It is weird that there's diminished returns on stuns against NPCs. I mean, like, I get it against other players. Other than only costing 2 rage, overpower doesn't seem that much better than devastate. It is nice having enough rage to be able to use cleave, you know, almost whenever I want. Yeah, like I said, it's time to kill is not like the end-all be-all. If you can just pull mob after mob with almost no breaks, and your time to kill isn't that bad, you can still do quite a bit. And I imagine if I actually went like, you know, Fury, I don't think I would actually be that much more efficient up here. Of course, there might be another place where I would be more efficient. But I like being able to tank and DPS with the same spec. Oh yeah, the Shattered Halls run, I like ended up like... He asked me if I want... the druid asked me if I wanted a tank. And I thought he was joking, but like, after thinking about it a little bit, I think he was literally asking me to tank for him. Like, Shattered Hall sucks. You can have that fun. I don't mind helping you out, but like, trying to tank that on a non-paladin is a bit of a pain. I mean, if you got like 3 mages, of course, if you have mage, you just, with improved Blizzard, you don't really even need to use CC because you can just hit them around. Oh, wait. Wow, I'm at 40 minutes. That's a surprise. I have not checked to see if I got any chats. I have not. That felt horrible. You know what? You are all by yourself. Or not. God damn it. DPS. I need like one more Shattered Halls run. But it's kind of late, and I'm not sure how well I'd perform. Working 12-hour shifts 6 days a week tends to take the wind out of your sails. Well, okay, should I fight the elite? I don't want to do it at partial health. Maybe I'll take the first guy out. Second guy too, maybe. Well, crap. And here's the other good part of it. Oh my god, had to wipe like 2/3 of the way through. And it's just not worth my time to try to find him. I'll have to use like stuff. And he resets relatively quickly. Well, I kind of want to kill him now. Seems like a good way to end the stream, but now he's going to be like around a bunch of other mobs. Well, I used food. Okay. Now let's go get him. He's actually pretty easy to kill. I imagine for most people once they... But the other thing I'm trying to do with him is like I want to see how badass I can make him without like any raid gear. Oh, God damn it. Go ahead. Hide among your friends. Actually, I should count up my booty, but I didn't clear my bags first, so it'll be hard to separate what I got now from what I got earlier. Let's see if he's available. Well, he's in a spot. 90% health is not too bad. Okay, get away from the geologist. I almost want to fight something and then pull him. Oh, you know what I could do? If I'm almost done, I can blow a half-hour cooldown. Well, that's pretty good. 938 DPS. Of course, blowing recklessness is like cheating. Did the last boss as I was doing DPS in Old Hillsbred and pulled 850 DPS on the boss, beating the crap out of all the other DPS. And all the other DPS was 70. It was like a rep run. And that's when I like drop it on people. Prot DPS for the win. It's like, wait, what? I just got brutalized on the damage meter on a boss by somebody who's spec protection. No, that ain't right. Damn, I got about 80 cloth, a couple of greens, one or two, well, just one arcane tome, and something like 30 Sun Fury signets. So probably somewhere in the neighborhood of, 50 to 70 gold, depending on what I do with the stuff. And like 2 mana potions, and I believe 2 healing potions. And then a couple of grays that will vendor well. Okay, I think I'm going to bed. Just try to find farming that's not, that can keep you interested. If that means competing with other people, making your farming a little bit less boring. It's about what you can do to keep yourself going, and something you can just go do when you don't know what to do, and then just do that until something occurs to you. Because if you're really getting bored, like the other things, you'll have more profound insights on what you could do that's better than what you're doing right now. So, And it's great for looking for groups, because I'd very much rather just jump into a group that's already forming than try to form one. Just makes your time more efficient. So, I am the Expert Layman, and this has been Farming Meta Strategies with my Protection Warrior. You all have a great day.